Microphone check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. How's my audio? Thank you, thank you. Sure did, Gloria. Thank you, Carrie. Welcome, Alicia. What up, what up? Welcome to another Sleuth Intuition Live. We're going to kind of be all over the place today. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that support. Thank you so much. I am under the weather. The wife and the youngest are at the doctor now, so we'll see what the heck's going on. It seems like 3 of us so far in the household came down with something like a stuffy nose and a stomach thing. So we'll find out what it is. Hopefully it's just your common cold. That's what it feels like. All I know is a couple shots of whiskey didn't help it. Usually that'll clear you of a common cold. At least it does for me. That or tequila. Tequila and garlic. It should cure you of anything, really. How's everybody doing? Good to see you guys. Got a full house. I figure we'll start with this. It was put out by Crime Watch 8. The YouTube channel, The Unsolved, requested that I kind of present it. I don't know if he's been able to track it down. There's another one out, I think, by Fox 59, but I think they may have retracted it. Either that or they labeled it something else because my link doesn't work. But I did put it on a live stream, so we did document it, so it's going to be there forever. But this one I did have on hand. This was published November 14th. And this is the first time I mention it. And this is the reason why I mentioned the conservation officer and Richard Allen's interaction with him. Because in this report, they clearly state that the source of their information was law enforcement. So I felt confident I could present it at that time. And then they also state here that Richard Allen came forward the day of the crimes. He came forward later in the day, but it was while they were still missing. And I don't know if that's true. I just know that that's what we're going to read here in a moment. Alicia, yeah. Nice. We're getting ready to buy some land. Good for you, Alicia. Sold multiple acres today. Big payday. Yeah. There you go. Good for you. Congrats. Must be an incredible feeling when you're up, you know. So good for you. Keep it up. All right, let's dive right into this here. Richard Allen, the man arrested in the 2017 double murder of Abigail Williams and Liberty German near Delphi, told a state conservation officer he was in the area on the day of the killings, but his report may have been considered unfounded, a police source tells IT Mate. Allen, a 50-year-old resident of Delphi, went to the conservation officer right after the teens' murders on February 13th, 2017, and said he was on the Monon High Bridge that afternoon, but didn't see the two girls, the source says. Williams and German were dropped off near the bridge on the day of the murders. Their bodies were found the next day. Allen's statement was forgotten until recently when Indiana State Police became frustrated with the status of the Delphi investigation and asked a group of investigators to look over files related to the case. I wonder if this is kind of like a cold case. That's a cold case maneuver right there. So good for them. Investigators believe Allen is the man on the bridge in the cell phone video and in the sketches released by police, source tells iTeam 8. I think there was some information here about Keegan Kline, too. This is all old news, and we're going to look at some mainstream media videos that were put out here within the recent hours or within the 24 hours. It'll include all the updates. This stuff right here is a little bit older. Oh, here we go. Search of the Wabash River linked to the Delphi investigation, source says. Oh, wait, we missed the part where it said the source was law enforcement. Hold on. Okay, yeah, we did. A police source tells iTeam 8. So we'll zoom in on that right there. A police source tells iTeam 8. Okay, so we covered that part. And I don't know if that's true. You know, the police source also confirms that the recent 5-week state police search of the Wabash River in Peru was connected to the Delphi investigation. Was connected to the Delphi investigation. It was initiated after Keegan Kline told police they would find a cell phone and weapon in the river. The source tells iTeam 8. Kline, 28, a figure linked to the Delphi murders who has not been charged in the case, revealed that information while being questioned about the deaths of Libby and Abby, the evidence was never found, and Kline is known for lying to investigators. And then we all know all this information. But yeah, I mean, so we don't know yet. I haven't heard any confirmation 100% that they did not find anything in that river. Because when we read Keegan Kline's transcript, if they're connected, and it seems every day that passes that that's less and less likely, but I don't know yet. During the search, Keegan was all of a sudden active on social media, texting. We have verification here from a law enforcement source saying that he was part of the search. Directly after the search concludes, they have a search warrant for Richard Allen. So I don't know if it's connected. The timing can just be a really big coincidence, but I don't know. I'm going to keep an open mind when it comes to the connection here with Keegan Kline. Because, I mean, we look at his transcripts, and it almost leads us to believe if they did find some kind of a cell phone or a burner phone or something along those lines, it may lead to further information on the killer if he's connected to the Anthony Shot stuff. If, and at this point, that's a big what if. Lynn says, Tobe made a statement, Sleuth Intuition. Did you see it? Yeah, I think I have it. I think I grabbed that too. Here, we'll shut that down. Oh, no, I did not grab it. But he was basically saying, you know what? They don't want this thing tried in the court of public opinion or on social media. They want everything to go smoothly within the court system. Oh yeah, that brings me to the gag order. Here, we'll just jump into this. We'll look at these updates. We'll look at the order with the gag order. I'll go over some of my notes, and then we'll jump into the chat, see what you guys think about everything. So we will start with a Fox update. This one, I think, included. Bring this back. I was going to point something out.
Linked to a bullet discovered at the murder scene.
How did them going back and finding that interview with the conservation officer, how did that lead them to a search warrant? Did they just kind of take a look at him and be like, oh shit, okay, yeah, he does look like our suspect? I wonder if they did like a lineup, like put his face with a group of other images, and maybe people picked him out and said, well, this one's the closest right here. And if they seen him out on the bridge, wearing blue jacket and blue jeans, and if the person who's seen the guy covered in mud and blood also seen what appeared to be a guy, that was wearing a blue jacket, blue jeans, fitting the description, and Richard Allen admitting to having a blue Carhartt type jacket and blue jeans, I mean, that's very compelling right there in itself. So I think that's the part that may have been the problem.
A gag order has just been issued in the Delphi murders case against Richard Allen. So what does this mean? Well, all parties in this investigation, attorneys, law enforcement, court personnel, family members, anyone from talking or releasing statements on the case. Now, the gag order is in place, and the order will be reviewed during a hearing January 13th. Now, of course, we will be following this update throughout the day today, and we will have much more on 13 News starting at 5 o'clock and on WT.
Okay. So let me go over my notes. They're quick. And then we'll open up the phone lines and we'll hang out in the chat. Oh, no. I want to show a couple videos from early on in the investigation where they were serving a search warrant on Ron Logan. You can see the conservation officer. So I don't know how many there are out there, but apparently they called in the conservation officer because they wanted dogs, which is strange. So I don't know, but we get a good look at him in one of the videos, and maybe somebody local say, no, he's from Lafayette. Not that it matters. I'm just saying it is interesting to know who this person is. Let's see. So the order was issued. Let's see, on the 1st. And then on the 2nd, it looks like another one was issued, which includes counsel, law enforcement officials, court personnel, the coroner, family members from disseminating information. Okay, now the reason and this is just my personal opinion, I'm not an expert, but the reason they included the coroner is because I think that the prosecutor, once the defense receives the discovery and all the evidence was found during the search, they're going to change their strategy. They're going to begin to wheel and deal. They're going to change their tone. And the gag order is to ensure that details from that crime scene, I think they're waiting for a confession. So when this confession, because this whole time they've been holding their cards close to their chest, but you can fumble the ball, right on the 1 yard line. All it takes is before a confession for somebody to leak out those details and to have reached Richard Allen's ears. Now, that would be something that the defense team, I think personally, would want to happen. That would give them a fighting chance, maybe a mistrial. But with this gag order, because maybe only investigators and some, all the way up to FBI and the coroner really know specific details, and maybe some of the family members, what happened on the crime scene. So I think this is their attempt to preserve the integrity of that information so that when the confession comes forward, it will be authentic. That's just my 2 cents. So they did issue that order, looks like this morning or at some point today. And that's only good until the hearing on January 13th. So I'm assuming by then everybody will have discovery and they may do it again. But I have a feeling we'll have a confession by then. Honestly. And hopefully a manhunt or somebody in custody. I'm not sure. If anybody has the answer to that in chat, let us know. All right, let me see what I pulled here. This is a good one. This is Inside Edition. No real good shots of the conservation officer, but some good information and kind of a good look back and kind of remembering like the whole Ron Logan thing. It's all still very interesting and potentially sad. So when it's all said and done, I have a feeling the whole Ron Logan thing is going to be really sad. Thank you. Welcome. Glad to have you. We're actually going to be doing a meeting. Maybe not this weekend. Got a lot of plans this weekend, but maybe Monday or Tuesday. Usually that's when we get them done.
A new twist in the hunt for the killer of those two Indiana teenagers. Investigators executed a search warrant at the home of this man, Ron Logan, who owns the property where the bodies of 13-year-old Abigail Williams and Liberty German were found. Cops took away a white Ford pickup truck during the search.
Who is safe here or anywhere else anymore?
Ron Logan is now in custody on an unrelated probation violation. I recently spoke to him about the murders.
You just cannot believe this terrible thing that happened to the community and the families actually happened here on my property in my backyard.
He told me he has an alibi, buying tropical fish 20 miles
Thanks,
away.
Heather.
I was not home during the time that all this was happening. I was in Lafayette. Yeah. And I didn't get home till approximately 6:30 in the evening, and then the neighbor stopped to ask for permission to look back here for the girls.
Liberty German shot this chilling image of the suspected killer approaching the girls on a hiking trail, and she recorded the killer's voice.
What do you hear on there?
Nothing that I recognize at all. No one. I don't recognize the voice at all.
I asked Ron Logan to repeat those same chilling words.
Down the hill.
And that image of the suspect?
The picture is of such poor quality, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, see, that image doesn't look anything like Ron Logan. Now, could he be involved after the fact? I mean, there's nothing really points to that, right?
Anyone I've ever seen.
Police have not revealed what led them to search his home, but said in a statement, "We basically are here to try to eliminate him or put him as a higher suspect in our case." Ron Logan told me he is devastated by the discovery of the bodies on his property.
That was like being hit with a bolt of lightning on my property. I mean, you just can't put words to it.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, think about that. Think about if this crime happened on your property. I mean, have any of you ever really sat there and thought about that? I did that today and it was very disturbing. You know, you can't just wash that off. You know, that's there forever. Like he's trying to explain it like there's no words for it. But if you really sit down and think about that, like, okay, if this crime happened on my property, you're 100% going to be connected to it forever.
Gone into the investigation and have talked to other people. Things are just not adding up.
This afternoon, police searched the home of the man who owns the property where Delphi teens Libby German and Abby Williams were found last month. Now, police want to reiterate that this does not mean that Ron Logan is a suspect.
Investigators are telling us, though, they are just following up leads to figure out if Logan is a suspect or should be ruled out. And we just got this statement from the attorney of property owner Ronald Logan. It reads in part, stated simply, Mr. Logan had no involvement in this heinous crime. You probably got the push alert when we broke this story around noon today. We've got Rich Van Wyk in Delphi for us tonight. He's got more on today's search. Rich?
Scott, investigators arrived here about noon. They've been hard at work all day. From what we've told, they may be here working through the night. It's an exhaustive and extensive search. It starts back there with the home and the garage near the street, the barn buildings behind that, and then as you continue to look, you can see horses in the open field. In addition to horses, there are investigators searching the area by hand, also with electronic equipment. The bodies of the murdered girls were found a couple of hundred yards away into the woods next to a creek. Investigators worked for hours, searching Ron Logan's home, his garage, barns, and property. They are looking for clues to whether Logan is connected to the murders.
Basically, we're trying to either clear him or look at him even harder. That's what we're trying to do here.
Abby Williams and Libby German were found murdered on Logan's property. Days later, he walked us to the secluded crime scene, appearing shaken by what occurred here.
I can't really wrap my emotions around it. It's just so mind-boggling.
Later, when someone used social media claiming Logan resembles investigators' prime suspect, the 77-year-old was understandably angry.
I was cleared by the authorities ages ago.
Since then, investigators received new leads and found new information, prompting the search and putting new attention on Logan.
As we have gone into the investigation and have talked to other people, things are just not adding up, and we're just trying to get things added up.
Police arrested Logan earlier this week on a probation violation. He has numerous drunk driving convictions. He's being held without bond. Investigators searched with the help of a canine.
So that's the conservation officer right there. That'd be him.
Carried away armloads of potential evidence and seized Logan's truck. Police, though, warned against rushing to any conclusions.
This is part of the investigation. This is not our first search warrant. We've done several others other than this residence. We've done some polygraphs. We've done all kinds of things to other people.
Mike Patty, Libby's grandfather, drove through this search area today. We called him for reaction. In a text, he replied,
I didn't find it, Chopper. Somebody else found it on Facebook.
Wherever it takes police,
I can't remember
leads to the arrest of the person or persons involved. Scott, police aren't saying exactly what information brought them here or what exactly they are looking for. It is noteworthy that they've known about Ron Logan since the day the bodies were found. They've been in and out of this property many times. To see an investigation, a search like this is extraordinary.
Yeah, we know you'll continue to dig for answers on those questions. Thanks, Rich. And if
All right. So we're just going to hang out. If anybody wants to call in, let me open these lines up. Feel free to. Number is at the bottom of the screen. That's a good question, Jeanette. Asked, why couldn't track dogs have been used to find out where they went? And what's strange is a lot of people there, they have clubs, for dogs, for scent dogs. I mean, I'm surprised somebody didn't step up or say, hey, look, I got professional dogs here. Give me the scent and we'll find it. We'll tell you where it's going. It's like we got a call. Hello, Heidi. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's on your mind?
I just wanted to make a quick comment or something more recently I've been kind of thinking about. Trying to connect dots basically between Richard Allen and Keegan Klein. I did a comment, but I don't think I explained too much. But first of all, from what I can tell, they both were mostly raised by their fathers. It seems like they had an absentee mother figure in their lives, and it feels like that's something that they could trauma bond over. They both had issues with women in their lives, it seems like.
I could see that.
Yeah, so because I've been trying to think about that. I've also been trying to think about connections between possibly Ron Logan and them. I haven't really. The only thing I can really think of with that is Alcoholics Anonymous type of a meeting. I don't know if Richard Allen went to Alcoholics Anonymous, but because it's not super realistic that they would just connect on the internet. You know what I mean? Because you're not just going to trust somebody on the internet right away. You start talking to someone on the internet, even if it was on the dark web or whatever. You're not going to start telling your life story. I don't think, unless you're super stupid. And these guys don't seem to be super stupid or anything. So
I was even thinking maybe local pubs, maybe reach out to some of these people that work the late night shifts. Maybe they know them. Maybe they've seen them both together in one of these bars, anywhere from Peru to, Lafayette. Who knows?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that very first Shamrock journey that I did, I had the one scene where I saw Keegan Klein talking to the guy in the bar, and Ron Logan's pointing to the guy at me, and they were in a bar. I did think that was possibly just a symbolic reference of an internet club online, but I agree with you. I think they should look at bars and things like that. Yeah, I do think so. And the other thing too was I noticed.
Real quick, last thought, Heather, and then we'll take this next call. Are you still there?
Oh, you said hi, Heather?
Oh, what's your name? I'm sorry. I thought it was Heather. Hello?
Call from
Corey.
Let's add Corey in here.
Press 1 to send a.
We're going to add Corey in here.
Hey, Sluice.
Hold on. Hello, caller.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I accidentally hung up on the other caller. Sorry about that.
Uh-oh.
What's going on, Corey?
Oh, no, I wasn't sure if I got the number right. I'm listening on my phone, and it's kind of blurry, but I guess I got it right on the first try. But,
yep.
What was I going to say? So, they found a bullet at the scene that supposedly it has the same markings as if it was sent out the barrel or the chamber of Richard Allen's gun. And one of the things that kind of rang a bell for me, I was listening to a channel, and then they were mentioning how Libby was in really good shape, and she's really smart about true crime and stuff, and I can't. My mind's kind of stuck on this. That maybe once they got, this is just speculation, but I keep thinking like maybe once they got led into the woods and realized like we need to do something or we're not getting out of here, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And for me, if I'm in that situation and somebody's pointing a gun at me and I'm gonna fight back, the first thing I'm gonna do is try to grab the barrel of the gun and direct it away from my body. And I can't help but to think if they got into a fight with him, like if he's trying to abduct them or SA or whatever he's going to do, and then they both fought back, and if Libby did just that and grabbed the gun and directed it away from her, that bullet could have popped out of the gun if the barrel got cocked back. And she might have unchambered the round in the gun, and he might not have even been aware. And then he wouldn't have known to try to find that bullet to remove it from the crime scene. He might not have even known that he lost that bullet out of the chamber.
That's possible. That's a big what if though.
Yeah, it's a huge what if. I don't know. In my mind, I see that. Like I can see it playing out where
Just instinctually.
So I'm sorry, what's that?
Just something one of the girls did instinctually, just kind of reach out, grab it.
Well, I think with him leading him out there that his priority wasn't murder. I think it was either abduction or an assault of some kind. And I think I think he killed them out of fear of being caught and rage once they started to fight. Kind of rings in my head. It just feels like it makes sense because if he brought the gun to coerce them down the hill and where he wants them to go, but then he knows he can't use it because that would alarm anybody nearby. They would hear that, and that would be like a big.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to fire the gun, and so if they start fighting back, and like the one witness in the affidavit describes him as being muddy and bloody, and it's like I could see him. His pants being wet, I don't know about mud, if they just crossed the creek. But if there was actually like a fight, if the girls fought for their lives.
Well, they said that there was no struggle or a fight in the Ron Logan probable cause affidavit. So I'm thinking the mud and the blood came from the moving and the staging part. So, I mean, he could have killed them right underneath the bridge and just carried them over there and tried to hide the bodies.
Yeah, maybe.
And then he was like, okay, I don't need this gun. I don't need this gun anymore. Now I got to figure out how the hell I'm going to get out of here. Unchambers the round. The round goes flying. He's like, oh, shit. Maybe he doesn't even think about it. Tucks the gun, maybe hides it away somewhere on his person to where it's no longer exposed. And because he's probably not too familiar with guns. Some people aren't real comfortable when they tuck their gun away to leave it chambered. So maybe he's like, okay, I don't need this anymore. I'm not comfortable with it being around in the chamber. Let me go ahead and expel that one, tuck this hideaway, and let's see if I can make my escape out of there.
Well, wasn't he a hunter? I thought that had been mentioned. Maybe not. Maybe
I haven't seen too much hunting. I know that he had multiple guns, and but he is an avid hiker from what I've seen from his wife's Facebook.
I just feel like if you own multiple guns, you know how to load them, you know how to take the magazine out, you know how to unchamber a round, and it doesn't make any sense to me all right, so I don't think he had the gun with just the one in the chamber and then no other bullets in the gun.
Yeah, he took the magazine out.
It takes the magazine.
Yeah, he took the magazine out, unchambered the round, put the magazine back in, probably panicked, probably was looking for the round. It's possible. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe different guns operate differently, but that round, it doesn't go far. It just pops out the side and ends up a foot to your right if the chamber's on the right side of the gun. I mean, I don't have much experience with guns. My dad had a few. He's a CO at a prison. And so I've been to the range, and I've fired a 22, a 38, and a 40. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I just feel like they don't It's not like it pops out real fast.
Yeah, some
right
handguns will just throw it. If you pull it back really quickly, like really fast, you could pop it way up in the air.
I'm wondering what else the prosecution has for evidence to present in the trial, because if the whole case hinges on this round being tied to his gun, I mean, they need more than that. I mean, obviously you have the timeline where he's there, he's in the right area, he's wearing the clothes. They need something else. They need something else to tie him.
You know what they need? They need that jacket. They need that jacket, and they need his blood, and they need both girls' blood on that jacket. They need both.
Can you imagine if he kept that jacket for all this time?
Hey man,
how dumb is that?
it's dumb, but it's dumb to kill two girls, you know. So the thing that makes them killers is the same thing that gets them caught. It's this weird thing they can't let go of.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it would be amazing if that'd be the best thing for this case. If what they took from his house during the search, what was described as dark rags or black rags,
Some trophies too, maybe.
if those were actually, if that was the clothing he was wearing, I mean, that'd be incredible.
And think about it, he could be into some voyeuristic stuff and just go and print his own photos.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure they found something really creepy to kind of verify his character. You know, that way we'll get that part out of the way. You know, look, he also had this nasty shit in there. And then we found his blood and things, you know, on his property. I just have a feeling they're going to try to make it seem like this is some kind of cover up or frame job or something, you know?
Yeah, well, there's some wording that's problematic for the prosecution in the probable cause affidavit, where they talk about some of the witnesses describe basically two different guys there, even though they can only place Alan there. There's a totally separate description for someone else that may have been there, and then then you got they said that the evidence for the bullet coming out of the chamber was subjective in nature. That's a problem.
Yeah, they seemed excited, like they were ready to challenge it. But the truth is, what's his name? Rosie, the attorney for Richard Allen, said, I'm not going to even talk really right now. He's like, there's been no discovery. So they don't know what's been found. I don't even think Richard Allen knows what was found at his home yet. I guarantee they haven't even showed him yet. So
I'm really hoping there's a slam dunk.
Yeah, I think so.
Hope there's something.
Yeah, I bet you
Whether
they
it be
found.
the knife,
I'm thinking DNA. I'm thinking the victim's DNA was found on his property.
Yeah, if they found if they found the knife, because obviously they know from whatever autopsy was done on the girls, they know what shape and size bladed weapon they're looking for. And if he had a bunch, I mean, all you got to do, at least I think what they do is at the place where they're going to check for DNA is they take the blade out of the hilt, out of the handle, and that's where blood would still be is in there, and it would still be there, and that would close the case instantly. The jacket, that would instantly, I mean, not close, but that would instantly, the jury would be able to find him guilty automatically with those things. But what they presented in the probable cause, subjective bullet evidence and witness testimony that differs, like they better have more.
They do.
Better have more.
I was listening to a report, and they had some experts that were on, and they were mentioning the fact that they don't have to put everything within the probable cause affidavit, just enough to get what they need accomplished. So there could very well be a lot of information that wasn't included, you know, for the public.
Yeah, and they must. They've been so quiet on everything else. Why would they dump all the, evidence to cause, especially since they don't need to?
Yeah, and if they don't,
another question.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, and another thing is, if what we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, but if we're wrong, and this was just some kind of a political stunt, the people of Indiana should be really outraged by that.
Yeah, I mean, if this is all they have, basically it's like, I guess that's what it would have to be, is a political stunt for someone that wants to get, reelected into their office, where they just arrest, their best guy, but not, if they don't have a slam dunk on him, then I would think that would be entirely political. So person in all black. Keaton Klein wears all black. I wonder if the reason why the language in the probable cause affidavit, or the language that prosecutor used when he said we believe that more than one person could be involved in this, I wonder if they are open to the idea of Kagan doing the catfishing, setting this up, and Richard Allen being part of the group, and Kagan, giving that information to him to show up, and maybe if Kagan was there as well.
So let me see if I got this right. So you're saying a Richard Allen, Kagan Klein show up to meet the girls. Let's say they meet the girls, and the girls are like, "Oh, like I can't believe we got catfished by you guys. Like that's disgusting." Kagan Klein's like, "Oh man, this didn't work. Let's get out of here." Goes and waits in the vehicle. Richard Allen's like, "No, I'm not finished." But that's not what the timeline really says. If that's what you meant.
The way I would see it would be Kagan catfishes him. He gets him to be at this place at this time. He gets Richard Allen in on it because he's going to, profit off of this. He's going to charge Richard Allen to give him access to these girls.
Okay.
Richard Allen is the one that shows up on the bridge and basically abducts them under, with the gun.
That's
and then
terrifying.
You got Kagan, who is there in his vehicle. Maybe they met at the gas station prior, and they're like, "Okay, let's do this."
Like the handing, you're talking like there was an actual handoff of information. Like here's the phone, even maybe like here's a burner phone with the account, everything. You can go track them. They're waiting. They're going to be
Well, Kagan just gave this guy the time and place.
Wow.
Here's pictures of the girls. They'll be here at this time. You're welcome.
Completely anonymous, anonymous targeted attack is what you're saying. From what they thought anyway.
Yeah, so Richard Allen, the only thing that would be like not anonymous would be like the location. So the only reason why Richard Allen would want to purchase that information is because it's local to him. He only has to go a couple blocks away, and these girls are going to be here at this place and time.
Wow,
right? So
that's scary.
Tie him in.
I really hope that's not what's going on behind the scenes. These catfish and selling targets of children. You know how terrifying that is.
I mean, it is. I hear about these cases of people being coerced into murdering other people because they were coerced by someone from another anonymous, username on a website.
Yeah, that does happen.
I forget. I think that happened in Indiana.
Schillmiller. It's happened in a couple different cases where people were able to get people to. It mainly happens with CSAM. This was like one of the strange one where it happened with CSAM and then it moved to murder. But usually it's these perverts, what they do is they create this fake persona and then they convince these people to go and abuse their own family members who happen to be underage. And then that's how they get their hands on the CSAM. And then that's what they peddle.
Yep. So what I was proposing about the person in all black being Kagan is if Kagan showed up in his own vehicle at the same time separately and to wait in the woods, to lie in wait. And I wonder if their plan was abduction. Kagan's in the woods. Richard Allen is going to go out there and abduct them with the gun, bring them out to that location in the woods, and then they're going to get them out of there. But the girls fight back somewhere along the way.
I can see that.
There's a scuffle.
And that's how that's how the bullet falls somewhere right there.
Yeah, if Libby turns around and I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody that has like a defensive state of mind when it comes to like fighting or something, their first instinctual reaction when under gunpoint, if they know that they're out of options and they have to fight back, is to
Grab it.
direct the firearm away from them.
I can see that. And if I've seen plenty of videos where people have guns pointed to them in like robberies, they grab it and they push it away like that.
Yeah, and I mean, how many YouTube videos are there out there of proclaimed self-defense trainers? And, all you got to do is grab the gun like this.
This shit don't work.
Now there's no bullet in the barrel. Yeah, I know.
That's fine. All right, Cody, real quick, final thought if you have one. I'm out of time on this end.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that there's some slam dunk evidence that the prosecution has. If not, it's kind of scary that they would go to court on such little evidence to convict.
Yeah, that's why part of my poll is I think that maybe we should just kind of wait for the discovery. They should have it by January 13th, it looks like. And yeah, they'll know more, and I think they'll take a different strategy.
Yeah, I'm waiting. It sounds good. Thanks for taking my call. I've been listening to you for, I don't know, 6 months now.
Hey, thanks for calling in.
You never showed up in my recommended feed or anything. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, how long have you been doing this? Covering Delphi?
Like a year now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I've probably, all right then. You probably popped up in my feed around then. I thought you had been doing it longer, and I just discovered you in the past year.
No, just about a year now. A little over a year now, yeah.
Yeah, well, I appreciate what you do. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. Thanks again. Great call, Cody. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
All right. The lines are shut down. Sorry for anybody that I didn't get a call. I am out of time. We'll hang out here another about 6 minutes. Good to see you, CD. All right. We will hang out in the chat for a little while, as long as possible here. Me too, Jim. Me too. I hope they're watching. Why I made the middle finger emoji for the sleuth crew. He does look like John Goodman. What's up, Chucky? Yeah, that's funny, especially in that image. I'm honored, Heather. I really do appreciate all the support. I don't know, can you? Yeah, those old cat videos are priceless. I like watching the old Bruiser videos too. They're really good. Like Bruiser would always, he even called me out on some of his videos. Like, he's a good man. I want to thank everybody. Have a good night.